Today, many small to medium-sized companies are discovering that the savings in time and travel expense isn't a luxury reserved for the Fortune 500. It's no coincidence that 92% of Fortune's top 50 companies with highest return to investors own or operate their own aircraft. This highly profitable group includes a few major corporations as well as smaller entrepreneurial companies. The typical business trip involves fewer than 3 people, traveling less than 400 miles. The 4-place Commander 114B, with a range of 850 miles, fulfills 80% of all business travel needs. Imagine being able to schedule an out-of-town meeting without first consulting the airline schedule. Imagine being able to take key associates along without costing the company an extra dime. Imagine you're not limited to 600 destinations connected by 50 hubs. You have access to almost 13,000 large and small airports nationwide, modern facilities just steps away from your plane. Imagine you could own and operate a luxurious top-of-the-line corporate airplane for about what you pay your secretary.
In my experience piloting the 114B, it has given me a great sense of relief in knowing that I can go when I want to and come back when I want to, do my own scheduling. The 114B is a comfortable, safe, fast airplane with a lot of utility.
Commercial air service from Eugene to customer sites is costly and inconvenient. Since the purchase of the Commander in 1992, we've been able to save time and money as well as open new markets. Business has increased significantly since we've had the Commander 114B.
Frustration with commercial airlines and increased efficiency afforded by the 114B are stories we frequently hear. Consider the following time and cost analysis of a typical one-day business trip from Peoria to Decatur, Illinois for a 2-hour meeting, then on to Chicago for another 2 hours, and finally returning to Peoria. Your Decatur meeting begins at 11, so flying commercial, you would depart at 7:30 and stop in St. Louis before arriving over 2.5 hours later. In the 114B, you could depart at 10 for the half-hour direct flight to Decatur. Flying commercial, you would leave at 2:10 for the Chicago leg of your trip and arrive at 3:45. Flying Commander, you can leave earlier, take a shorter flight, and begin your meeting about the time the commercial flight is just pulling up to the gate. Your earlier meeting allows you to depart Chicago at 6:30 for a 7:25 arrival in Peoria. The commercial travelers don't even leave until 8:15. Flying in the 114B saved these travelers almost 5 hours this day. In dollars, this trip cost the 114B traveler about $170 compared to about $888 flying commercial coach. That's $888 per person. Savings are even more dramatic when you realize that 2, 3, or 4 travelers in the 114B still cost just $170 to transport.
When I first founded the company in 1989, I realized that the commercial airline travel was very inconvenient. It wouldn't get me where I needed to go when I needed to go. And the Commander 114B basically allows me to have a lot of flexibility. I can take who I want, when I want, and go where I want on my schedule, not the airline schedule.
Aircraft ownership may be the smart choice for your company. But why buy a new Commander when the used market offers so many choices?
In addition to the 114B, we have experience with older and higher performance aircraft that were bought used and refurbished to the same price range as the 114B. When it comes to dispatch reliability, the 114B has been the hands-down winner.
The reason we chose a new aircraft, first of all, was the safety factor. Secondly, we found the Commander 114B to be very cost-effective as an initial purchase. And of course, we've also found out that since we were able to purchase it new, there were certain tax advantages to us. We realized from the beginning that the corporate image of the aircraft was very important to us. In essence, we're flying a billboard with our name on it. We feel that the Commander is a very classy aircraft, and we've had many positive comments about it.
A used airplane just can't offer the image, comfort, reliability, or tax benefits of a new 114B. Depreciation deductions alone will save you about 1/3 the cost of the airplane. Savings are further enhanced by 1 year of free maintenance and a 2- or 3-year warranty on most of the electronics. A new Commander means lower operating cost and less hassle. The modern 114B has a pedigree that goes back to the Commander 112 and 114 series designed by Rockwell International. This aircraft was the first and remains one of the very few new aircraft in its class that meets current FAA aircraft certification criteria. Most other production aircraft are still being built under grandfathered certification standards established nearly 50 years ago. Today's 114B combines the best design elements of the original wide cabin design with all the modern enhancements today's pilots and passengers expect from a high-performance corporate aircraft. The Commander airframe has over 2 million hours of flight experience and one of the best safety records in its class.
Well, producing corporate videos for companies all over the country means I have to do a lot of on-demand travel, typically carrying expensive equipment that I'd never consider checking on the airlines. And I've got thousands of hours logged in the 114 predecessor to this beauty that I'm sitting in here now, and I can say it's an incredible airplane. It's solid in rough weather, it's safe, it's reliable, and it's real good on short, rough strips, which I have to use quite often to get close to my clients. And that 260 Lycoming under the cowl, it's near bulletproof, and I know it's got the reliability to get me out safely, even hauling heavy loads. With the new 114B, the ergonomic upgrades such as the panel, instrumentation, and creature comforts have really made this airplane a pleasure to take on long trips. I can honestly say that I don't believe there's another high-performance single-engine airplane that's as easy to fly on the long haul. It's really no pilot work at all.
Just settle into one of Commander's handcrafted glove leather seats, and you'll see why the 114B is known as the most comfortable cross-country single ever built. The wide, quiet cabin with state-of-the-art instrumentation gives the feeling of traveling in a luxury automobile. The new Commander 114B sets the standard for comfort, style, and safety in a 4-place corporate aircraft.
Took me to the factory, showed me how the airplane was built, impressed me with the safety of the airplane. They took me for demo rides. They let me fly it. I made a great landing on the very first one without having flown for 10 years prior. And when we bought this airplane, we bought a flight department. I mean, these guys back it up 110%.
Hassle-free operation of your aircraft is what Commander's corporate aircraft program is all about. Along with our growing network of authorized sales and service representatives, Commander provides a comprehensive program of support for your corporate aircraft. From initial purchase to arranging for a personal on-call pilot, Commander is dedicated to service before the sale and through ASSRs, providing a complete flight department to owners.
I think the message that corporate America needs to know is that with the Commander 114B program, you don't have to be a pilot to own a Commander. You don't have to have a flight department. The ASSR's function in the field is to provide all those services for the owner.
When I have a problem with the airplane, I can call the factory and I know that the people I talk to are going to give me the proper information the first time.
The Commander Corporate Aircraft Program is designed to make it easy for your company to enjoy a competitive edge. The ultimate business tool, the 114B. You don't have to be a pilot or have your own flight department. Commander Aircraft Company will establish a complete aircraft ownership program that's right for you, including financing, insurance, service and support, hangar, storage, fuel, flight instruction, and personal pilot service.